Good afternoon, Anna Marie Perez. It's nice to see you today. How are you?
Good. I just started at the high school yesterday. Today I'm working at the U of A, and then I have start classes. So been busy.
Well, I'm very, very happy that you made time for us and this little short little interview that we have planned today. It's really just to gather some of your feelings about well, really what we want to do right now, Anna Marie, is we want to figure out who are you? Where did you come from? How did you end up at our beloved University of Arizona? And the other big thing is how has Earn to Learn, or because you are an Earn to Learn saver, how
Yes.
uh, how did you stumble into that opportunity, and also how has it worked out for you? So let's start
Yeah.
with where you're from.
I'm originally from Illinois, but I've lived in Arizona long enough for me to call it home. Specifically Maricopa, Arizona. So that is where I'm from.
That's fantastic. And what high school did you attend there in Maricopa?
Sequoia Pathway Academy.
Okay, fantastic. And how did you stumble onto Earn to Learn? What were you doing, or what school were you attending? That
I was attending a community college, Central Arizona College, and I knew I wanted to transfer, but I didn't know where I wanted to transfer. For a while, it was NAU, and I was speaking to somebody from there, and just realistically, it wasn't feasible for me to go there. And then I met with my advisor at CAC, and he's like, "You should really look at U of A. I think you'll do really good there." So I toured the campus. Didn't have my heart set on U of A, but, it was a little more realistic. So when I met with an advisor, she was the one who had, like, told me to look into the program because I am a transfer student, and she's like, "Yeah, so far, just talking to you, you meet all the requirements." So I ended up applying and and then, yeah, I got an email saying I was accepted into the program.
Okay, fantastic. So you're talking about Earn to Learn now, or how did you
Uh,
encounter Earn to Learn? Earn to Learn.
Yeah, so that's where, that was she just told me to look for Earn to Learn and then, um, the Saver program, and so at that time when I did it, it was like you had to do the monthly deposits,
Mhm.
and so I had, like, my success coach that I was, like, meeting with and made, like, my monthly deposits, and then, when I ended up pushing my graduation a year at CAC. Um, so they like held my like place and stuff for Earn to Learn
Mm.
until I was ready to transfer to the U of A, and then they were like, "Yeah, here you go." And then it was just coming here, and then I heard about the AmeriCorps like opportunity with Earn to Learn, um, and then I fell in love with that.
I love it. And so, what is it about that opportunity that stood out to you? Like, what was it that called your attention to it?
So the high school I went to, I had no sense of direction. I'm also first gen, so my mom knew nothing, and a lot of her friends were like, "Oh, I don't know," like, my kids are still, like, in middle school, so not having the opportunity of somebody to, like, sit down with me and, like, figure out what I wanted to do, um, I think, like, putting that, like, onto somebody, like, letting people know that there is support, um, because I think I would have went a different route if I had support. I don't think I would have went, maybe the community college route. I would have also like looked into a lot more like scholarships. Like I knew nothing like deadlines for applications. Like I didn't know those existed. I didn't know there was fee waivers. The only thing I knew was FAFSA because we had a FAFSA night and they just told me all seniors needed to do it. So me and my mom went and then it was like they were like, "Yeah, you just use this for school." And do it every year. And I was like, okay. And it wasn't until I got into this, the position of Earn to Learn, where I was able to like really understand there's a lot more to FAFSA than people think, and there's a lot more, to college applications, and I there's a lot of things I wish I knew, and being able to know that knowledge and like pass it. I passed it to my brothers. I helped them with their college applications, and now my brother's in Iowa going to Waldorf doing college there, and so And he's on the wrestling team, so, like, I was able to help him navigate some of those things because I didn't have that, and I wish I had that support, and then even in the high school, I support those kids and just the fulfillment I get knowing that they were in the same place I am, like, being first gen and knowing nothing, parents aren't helpful, and so just putting that in there, it's just been a lot of fulfillment, and then telling them about if they're starting in a community college and plan on transferring, letting them know that it's, like, the world's easiest scholarship that you can get. There's nothing more, like, it's just as long as you maintain, your GPA, make the deposits or, like, just, the $250, by the deadline. Like, I think they just upped it to 2 webinars, but before it was 1. I'm
Okay.
like, I tell them all the time, I'm like, "It's literally nothing crazy. Just knock them out, and then you're done." Um, so knowing that, like, there are scholarships just as easy as that, and you don't have to write papers or worry about, like, "Oh, there's, like, 20 million people, like, applying." It's a first come, first serve, and once they reach their people, they close it, and knowing that, it's like, okay, like, I don't know. I think I don't know. I love the program. I love Earn to Learn. I know it's benefited me a lot, especially here at the U of A. Um, my first semester, I had to pay a little bit out of pocket, but, last year and this year, I've had to pay nothing out of pocket, which I'm so grateful for. So I've been able to, like, graduate because I'll graduate in May. So I've been able to graduate with no debt. Like, I owe no loans, no nothing. Um, so being able to show people that it is feasible, like, when I'm at the high school, I'm like, "Yeah, look, you don't need to take out loans, like, there's a way to, like, go, to college without loans and without debt," and I'm like, "I do it, and hopefully I can pay for grad school because I have the resources and, I know how to properly save, um, because of Earn to Learn and the webinars and the different things I've had to do with the Earn to Learn program. I've learned, a lot of useful things I wish I knew sooner, um, and I'm able to put money in, appropriate places and open up appropriate accounts and just I feel being an adult, stuff you don't learn in high school, where they lack, I feel like I was able to learn with Earn to Learn. So I'm able to have right now I have a year, worth of savings to pay for grad school. And then it's a 2-year program, so I'll figure out the rest while I'm in grad school.
I love hearing what you're saying. This is when I'm out and I'm talking to students and communities. I talk about there is a way to go to college and hopefully for free if you just follow the right steps. And you're like a living example of that. I love it. The other thing is the grad school thing is probably, you're also probably aided. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming that you've been able to network a little bit with the school, the systems that you're involved in right now. Because I know Earn to Learn is not the only thing that you're doing. You're
Yeah.
heavily involved. And so, can you talk a little bit about your networks and how you've established networks, maybe as a result of Earn to Learn?
Yeah, so Um, Earn to Learn, so they have, the, like, AmeriCorps partnership, so the Next Steps advisor. So I was able to partner with some of the schools that way. So since I'm based out of, Tucson and I go to the U of A, I was able to meet some of the recruiters and talk to them and get involved with the ONSS, which is Orientation New Student Services. And I happened to see like one day on campus a job opening for an orientation leader position, and knowing that I still had rent and stuff to pay, I applied. I ended up getting it, and I think it was just from then I think I fell in love with the program even more, being a next step advisor, because I had those connections of seeing the kids at the high school and then knowing them, letting them know like I am at the U of A. I am not just disappearing. I feel like a lot of the high schoolers they lose that support and yeah, they see their teachers, they see, their counselors and all these people, but the minute they graduate and go to school, they kind of lose that. And so like working as an orientation leader and a destination Arizona leader, I think it just like I don't know, I made my job, it made me love it even more just because I'm able to like see them and like let them know I am here. I attend the U of A. I tell them all the time, if you see me, eat lunch with me or let me know if you wanna hang out or if you just need help with anything. I let them know I am here to support them even though they're not in high school anymore. Like, I'm here, through their time, whether they need a shoulder to cry on or help, taking out loans. I helped one of the students for my first year. I ran into her and she's, I don't know how to take out loans. Can you help me? I'm stressed. Like, they're not going to let me enroll in classes. And I set a time up and we sat and I helped her take out loans. And she is just so grateful. And now she's a sophomore. And um, hopefully, she'll continue here at the U of A. But I let them know, like, I'm here, they see me all the time, like, working Destination Arizona this last weekend. Um, seeing some of them, 'em, they're like, "Oh my goodness, you used to be at my high school," and I'm like, "Yeah, and how's this? How's that?" And, like, getting them seeing me outside of school and, like, in public and seeing me in a different role, it gets them so excited, and it gets me so excited when they recognize me or I recognize some of them, and I'm like, "Hey, how's this, and this?" And they're like, "You remember that?" And I'm like, "Of course, like, we used to work so closely together." And they're like, "Oh, well, the summer has came and gone and this and that." And they are just so surprised that, like, they see me on campus. Some of them are like, "Oh." And I'm like, "Yeah, like, if you need anything, I'm here." So I know I've made connections that way. I've made connections with, Youth on Their Own. I got to meet, Javi and just really getting to know that program and helping those, students, which I love those students as well. And I always let them know. And I'm always willing to like find resources for them because I get it. Their school, their students and they're working and they're trying to make ends meet. And I'm let me know how I can help if you need me to do this research for you and give it to you. But I'm like, I can't put in the work if you don't put in the work as well. And I build a lot of bonds that way with students. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm a part of Alpha Delta Kappa, which is through the College of Education. Um, and I know through that organization, Suzanne has been able to let me know. She's like, if there's students struggling to pay, enrollment fees or this or that,
Mm.
let me know and we can see what we can do. And I put it in contact with a few students and that are in, attending the College of Ed and they've been able to get resources and help with just whether it's just groceries or
Mhm.
whatever they need. That organization has been helpful. um and I don't know, I guess been putting myself out there and really getting to know things and know people um has been helpful for my knowledge and just being able to help other people. I hope my mom loves blabbing about me, and like I get a lot of people from. She's a school bus driver, so I get a lot of students from that high school
Mhm.
that I text and like I help out and email back and forth. Um, and I know, I don't mind. My mom's always like, "Let me know if it's too much," but I don't mind, just because they don't have the support, and I know how it is not being supported and just lost. The principal tried to like get me to go over there, and she's like, "Can you help out over here?" And I'm like, "I live in Tucson." Like it's kind of hard, um, and just like balancing school and stuff as well.
Zoom. Zoom. You can Zoom the students if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's a conversation though, because you have a lot going on. That is a
Hmm.
be an after you graduate conversation, but I'm just so impressed with you. I told you this before, even last year when I first met you at the very first AmeriCorps Next Steps training that we had. I thought you were very outspoken and you have this incredible personality and you beam like joy and happiness, and I can see how students find it very easy to communicate with you, and I just love your heart is huge and it's appreciated. I just want you to know that, and I'm just so happy that you've been able to benefit from the program. You'll always be able to count on us as your supporters, so we want to make sure that you know that. I know that your
Hmm.
next steps leaders are going to feel that way, and I definitely feel that way. So anyway, um, you've been able to share your experience, and probably had some challenges along the way that brought you to this point where and you've mentioned them already, having the lack of a lack of attention when it came to like guidance with regard to what you're doing. and now you know exactly how to guide people, and you're doing it. It's so wonderful that you're a part of this. So I want to thank you for taking the time to do this, because I know you're super busy. You're a person who wears many, many hats. And I want to also again reiterate how appreciative we are of your service.